What do you get when you pick a pig's nose? Hamburger. That's not right. If any of you are like me, you got a barn and you get some animals, and next thing you know, you got way more animals than you have size. Well, if you have goats and you're thinking about having kid goats, you need a way to section those stalls, give that doe her own stall in order to have that kid. You need to separate it. But the problem is you don't want to separate it to the point where you can't use it anymore. So I came up with a good way that you could separate your kidding goats from your regular goats, and when they're done, you just put it away. You just never seem to have enough space for the goats that are kidding, giving birth. Some people let their goats have kids in the field. There's nothing wrong with that. If you wish to, so be it. Tammy never allowed that here on our farm for our goats to have kids out in the field. We got a feeder here, a feeder here, and a feeder here. This turns into 3 stalls during kidding time. I believe we have 9 goats that are pregnant. Now we've offset them, so they're bred at different times. So this week, these 2 will have them. Next week, those 2 will have them. So she plans out when they'll be born, but we're thinking we might run out of space. What we do is we keep our mamas and babies separated for at least a couple days to get full strength, so the babies know their moms, all that good stuff. So what she's doing now is she wants me to take this pen here and go ahead and close that in. The thing is, when you do a kidding stall, you want it to be something you could take out of there. You need it for a couple days. There's no sense in closing off a whole area that you could utilize the rest of the year. My kidding stalls are up in the loft, which I bring down, and then I put them in here. So what I'm going to do is today, I'm going to show you how I build my kidding stalls with their own doors and all that good stuff. First thing you want to do is go ahead and measure your distance from your pickets or whatever it is to your wall, and then measure your height. So what you're going to want to do first is do a 45 on one end of a 2x4, and then whatever your length is of your stall, you want to make that the long point of a 45 on the other end. Now cut another 45 on the end of another 2x4. Now my stall was 40 inches tall, so I'm going to take it from the long point, mark 40 inches or whatever height your stall is, and do a 45 there. For another 2x4, which will be your top of your stall, cut it 2 feet less than the bottom, which in my case will be 40 inches. Now take your end piece here, it's on the back side, and cut another one exactly the same size. So go ahead and do a 45. Set this on top, mark it. All right, so here's what you got. You want to cut the bottom, the full length of your stall with 45s on each end. And then you want to find the height that you want it. Cut a 45 and a 45. Now the top one, you want to cut a 45 and a 45, 2 feet less than the end of your stall. That way your door can be 2 feet less than 2x4s, which will be 17 inches or so wide, which is enough for a goat to go through and enough for you to go through if you need to. So now all we got to do is find the height, cut a 45 on this end of a board, and then just a straight cut on the top, which my height is 40 inches total. So I want to measure from the long point up 40 inches. And then we want to do a straight cut. And we'll go ahead and screw this together. Now we got to just build the door in here. All right, now this is where your door is going to be. Get the height, take an inch off, a ½ inch. Now I need two that are 36 inches, long point to long point. Now we'll just screw it together. All right, we got the door built. Now what we got to do is put some hinges on it. Now we need a latch. There we go. So there's your door, your lock. Now what we need to do is put some fencing here and some fencing there. You got a temporary wall you can open up. Let's take it down to the barn and see how it fits. Well, there you go. And now you can open it or close it. You just screw it in the front and you just screw it in the back. And now you got one pin, two pins. You can take those screws out, take the whole thing out, throw it up for storage. I hope this video helped everybody. Do me a favor, click the like button if you like this video, or click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. You all have a good one. I will see you on the next one.
And how many times you must lie to keep it together? It goes on, it goes on, it goes on.